AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Former LSU defensive lineman Bernard Gooden, now with the Cleveland Browns. He'll be here in 30 minutes from right now. Saints UDFA class is inked. They'll be in New Orleans for rookie minicamp in about 8 days from right now. Part of that class is Michael Heldman, defensive end from Central Michigan, signed with the Saints. Good enough to join us now for a couple of minutes. Michael, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just enjoying life and, getting work in and, just attacking the day.
Are you home in Romeo, Michigan?
I'm not. I'm actually in Tampa, Florida with my wife right now. This is where she lives, so we're just staying here, taking care of our dogs and, living here for now. So, that's just kind of where I'm at.
Bro, connect the dots. How did you marry a girl from Tampa?
She went to Central Michigan. She was a gymnast, actually, at Central. We met there and, dated most of my college career and then ended up getting married just before the 2025 season.
Nice. Did she compete in the all-around? Was she a specialist in one of the events? What'd she do?
She was a specialist. She was a beam worker. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what a grind. Like the hardest. She's like, hell yeah, give me the hardest event possible. I'm just going to go grind and dominate this event. I love that. That's so good.
Oh, 100%.
I was looking you up because candidly, I was just trying to learn about you for this. So I mentioned you're from Romeo, Michigan, population 3767. Yes. I mean, it's like 3,000 people. And so I'm always curious, like, in a town that small, maybe it's just like the most famous alum to come out of that town or that high school. And you, sir, are not the most famous person from Romeo, Michigan. You want to tell our audience who the most famous freaking person is from Romeo, Michigan?
Yeah, well, if any of you fans out there are huge Kid Rock fans, he is the most probably famous person from Romeo.
My name is Kid! That is so good, dude. Kid Rock was here this summer, man, playing in Baton Rouge. Like, is there like a Kid Rock shrine in Romeo, Michigan?
I don't know about shrine, but I know he did donate one of his guitars to us somewhere. I remember one of our choir teachers was telling us about it. So,
dude, all he did was give a guitar?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of secrets in Romeo, so he's probably got he's probably got a signature somewhere, that none of us know about.
That's
but
so good. I'm like, dude, I'm not even moderately local famous. I've given my high school more than a guitar. Come on, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
You can do better than that. Hey, take me through, if you would, how you landed at Central Michigan coming out of high school.
Yeah, so kind of just coming out of high school, late recruitment. Just kind of started getting in the recruitment business like my junior year of high school. So, with COVID, it didn't really help. So, I had like one FCS offer, a couple D2s, really elite D2s. And then Central came calling probably like after my second to last game of the season. And they were like, yeah, we want you, last spot, If you don't accept it, we're gonna have to move on. Because I'm thinking, maybe I can wait till the second time, like in February, to sign with the team, try to get some more offers. But I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna go here. There was a chance to compete for a spot there, so I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna go to Central, and here we are now.
Right, and it's so wild too, because you're kind of a unicorn, Michael. You spent 5 years at one place. And you're so right too, because in the COVID year, like, you didn't have the opportunity to go do visits, and it was just like you saw a lot of people from that class of 2021 transfer for that very reason. You just didn't have a chance to go see a lot of places. So why did you stay at Central Michigan all 5 years?
Well, we after my redshirt freshman year, very first year playing college, I traveled to every game. I played 4 games. I actually got to play against LSU. Not the 20. This was 2021, so not the 2019 LSU, but did play against LSU when I was a freshman. Just got some garbage time in the end, but after just that season, it was just kind of like all right, a lot of our ends are graduating. Some of them transferred, so there's a chance to go start. And so during spring ball and then fall camp, I earned a starting spot. And from there, I've just been, starting, learning from the older guys, just learning technique, learning how to grow in my craft. And then, after our coaching staff all got let go and our head coach retired and we got a new head coach, it was just like, they give everyone the chance to go into the portal, almost like it's like you get it going for free and then you're able to come back for a certain, all the rules before. So at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I could chase the money. I could go, because I had a good enough season in 2024 to go somewhere bigger. But I was just like, I had good relationships with the guys on the team, and there was a lot of us returning. And I was just like, I think we can do really good with this team. And we still were going to play 2 Power 4 opponents, so I knew no matter what, I would still have good film regardless. But I'm just going to go play every game like it's my last. Just those guys that are really important, and it was just important for me and important for them. I just wanted to leave a legacy at that school, because like you said, a lot of people nowadays don't really do that much. They just transfer and they get to a different level. And everyone has their own decisions. There's many different reasons why, but, I just want to leave a legacy at that school. Yeah. So
you played Pitt and Michigan this past season. So those are the 2 Power 4s that you mentioned, but still, and I was going to ask you about that 2021 game. For those who don't remember, Jim McElwain was the coach at Central Michigan at the time. They came to Baton Rouge, the former Florida coach. What do you remember about that trip down to Baton Rouge and playing that game in Baton Rouge?
That was actually my first time being in Louisiana, actually. We got down there, and actually the funniest thing is I think you guys had some crazy storm going on at the time. So it was like we flew down the day of the game instead of the day before because we wanted to avoid the storms. And so we flew down the day of the game, and we got there, and dude, probably one of the biggest college stadiums I've ever seen. But we also went to Happy Valley, and we also went to the Big House. Mm-hmm. But definitely one of the craziest experiences I've ever experienced. That was probably the second best turf I've ever played on, just because we played at Pitt, and that's really good grass there. Because it's like the Steelers Stadium too. So, but like the grass on the LSU's field was just really nice. It was like almost like you're standing on a fairway at a golf course. Okay. Super good field. There definitely wasn't as many fans there as probably like an LSU versus like Alabama game or anything like that. So it's just kind of, what I'm saying? So yeah. It was a good experience, though. There were still people there, huge crowd, Death Valley. It was cool, man. It was just a great experience because, there's a lot of history at LSU. There's a lot of, Joe Burrow and all those guys. Like, there's a lot of history at LSU and just cool things that happen there. So just stepping on that field as a freshman for the first time was super cool. Great atmosphere. Sucks that we lost, but hey, when you got, I think it's Singletary, the corner, he was there at the time. He was
Derek
Stingley. Did I say Singletary? Yeah. I'm tripping. I'm so sorry.
You're good. Derek
I knew it was Stingley.
Yeah, no, you were good.
Yeah, Derek Stingley.
Yep.
Derek Stingley, just tearing us up on defense. But other than that, yeah, they were a good team. But it was just a great atmosphere. So
Don't worry, dude. He did that to a lot of people. He's doing that to a lot of people now in the NFL. It turns out he's pretty
yes, he sure is.
Hey, Michael Heldman's our guest, Saints defensive end. Let's talk a little bit about that process, man. Why? So draft ends, your phone's ringing. Why'd you pick the Saints?
Yeah, so it was really just a good opportunity to just go compete for a spot, right? You got a lot, and like you got good vets here. You got Chase Young. I saw that they traded Tyree Wilson from the Raiders,
Yep.
and brought some other vets in. So it's just a good place to go learn from some guys who are great. I remember watching Chase Young, when I was younger too. But he, just watching him and watching them, just like learning from guys, and having a chance to go compete, get on the field. And Granderson too. He was a guy who was a G5 school guy,
Yep.
going in, proving himself as a UDFA. And, there's a lot to learn from that as well. So, like, I just thought it was a great opportunity to go in and just learn from those guys. So, yeah, I was just excited. And, that's what we did. That's what my agent and I decided on. And it was just exciting, man.
You ever been to New Orleans?
I've never been to New Orleans.
What have you heard about New Orleans?
I've heard great fishing and great food.
That is, you will find both, actually. You'll have to go a little farther south for the fishing, but the food, you will stumble into just any place that serves food and maybe have the best meal of your life. But ease up on that while you get into playing shape. A couple more for you, man. Hey, you had a double-digit sack season this past year at Central. So if I said, right, how would you describe your game and your skill set? What do you say?
Yeah, so I would just say I'm a guy that really loves to prepare, man. I'm a guy who just loves to stay ready. I've learned from a lot of mistakes. I've learned from, just failures. And that's one of my biggest things is just learning, and film is a huge part of that, right? Sitting down, watching film, every single detail. How can I beat this guy? Like, I know with practice and stuff at CMU, I'd be like, all right, how do I work this move better? This guy is just this. And like eventually you get to know your teammates and stuff. But in the league, it's different because usually in college, well, I guess now it's turning different with the NIL and stuff. But like usually in college, you'll see the same guy and practice against them for 5 years straight, right? But in the NFL, you never know who's gonna come and go, right? So it's just like you're always like kind of studying, practice habits, especially when it comes to games, right? Studying the opponent, getting ready. So just really being prepared how to counter like with a certain guy, like what's his weaknesses, what's his strengths, right? What do you see coming on a certain formation, certain down and distance? Like what do you really see? And I think that helps me with my skills because I feel like it's easy to learn how to hit a swipes. Like a side scissors, that's a pass rush move. A cross chop, a ghost, or just to set an edge. And wrestling can easily teach you how to leverage, or any other sports, like certain sports that are good with leverage can teach you that. But I feel like the biggest thing is just knowing your opponent, right? And that's just one of the biggest, like the best things I did that helped enhance my technique and my skill with my hands and my feet and my leverage. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing.
You wrestled in high school?
I did not. I almost did though, but I did not.
Yeah, it's an incredible skill. So you're absolutely right. Leverage, hands, all of it. I mean, it's amazing how much you can translate that into almost any other sport. You were a communications major?
I was, with more of a business emphasis. That's why I took like a business minor with it.
Okay, I didn't know if you're gonna like come try to take my job or something like that.
No, you're good.
Maybe one day. In the meantime, go make a football team. You're right. The Saints have a history. I mean, UDFAs make the team every year, and you're right about Granderson when he came in from Wyoming, made the team, and it got broke off a few years ago as well. So, hey, man, this was fun. We appreciate you taking some time. I wish you good luck, good health. I know you'll probably be in New Orleans there on the 7th for the start of rookie minicamp, and so we'll be following you. We'll keep in touch, all right?
Of course. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
It's our pleasure. Michael Heldman, Saints UDFA defensive end. Actually, we just dropped he's Saints defensive end. Signed with the Saints as a UDFA, and we'll be competing for a job here in rookie minicamp and then throughout training camp. We'll keep in touch with Michael. Good perspective there. And he knew Kid Rock. All Kid Rock gave that school was a guitar. I mean, bro,
We can do a lot better than that. I mean, in a town of 3,100 people, you said, or
3767.
3,700 people. I mean, how is there not a Kid Rock statue or
Kid Rock
shrine?
Museum.
Yes, Kid Rock Museum.
The birthplace of Kid Rock. I mean, a wing in the hospital or the house the house he grew up in. Something.
Got to be on like the National Historic Registry. The house that
You
Kid
can tell
Rock
me there
grew
aren't
up
like
in.
crazy Kid Rock fans who go to Romeo, Michigan to see where Kid Rock grew up?
Absolutely, there are.
Come on.
Has to be.
We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. If that house needs a roof, we'll come fix it. Parish Construction and Roofing. Winner of the Best of Baton Rouge Best Roofing Company. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate you sincerely for voting Parish Construction and Roofing the best roofing company and the Best of Baton Rouge for 2026. Earlier, we won Best of Ascension, now Best of Baton Rouge. And really what that means is we're doing right by you. You wouldn't cast your vote for us if you didn't think we did a good job. So we're sincerely grateful. We love to give back to the communities we serve, and we're here to do it every day. So roof repairs, replacements, commercial, residential, gutter, soft wash, we do it all. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, ParishBuilt.com. All right, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. Bernard Gooden in 13 minutes. I want to go quickly here. When we come back, there's a way too early 2027 mock draft out, but I would like to illustrate how pointless this exercise is by taking a gander at a 2026 way too early mock draft. That's next at AFR.
AFR.
Rev Fiber. Fiber gets things moving fast. I'm talking about the fiber underground, the buried fiber. What did you think I was talking about? RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. Hey, I want to look, a couple things, especially if you're a business owner. Now, Rev offers services for both home or business, but I really want to point out, if you are a business owner, you have an internet service provider for your company, right? That's just undeniable. You have internet and you have security and maybe automation and phones, maybe even cable. Like if you are with another company, I cannot recommend this highly enough. Guarantee did this about a year ago. Like we're in a giant building in downtown Baton Rouge, 2 sides of the building, 4 floors, just untold numbers of like cable boxes and internet connectivity and routers, all this sort of stuff. Rev quoted us. We ended up saving a ton of money, and we had better service. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalVR.com.
Thanks to Michael Heldman. Guy was team captain at Central Michigan. You do the research on him, and you're like, that's the profile of a player Saints really like. Good leader, productive, 5-year player, loyal, all that stuff. Really enjoyed that chat. West Weeks was here in hour 1. Bernard Gooden is going to jump aboard with us in about 10 minutes. We are going to head to South Carolina and talk to Bill Gunter here in about an hour from right now. We'll preview the Gamecocks and the Tigers this weekend out at the box coming up here in just a bit. With the draft in the rearview mirror, though, it's interesting because you always see the way too early mock drafts for the next year. So we're a year away, right, from the 2027 draft. And so like Jordan Reed, he's just one of a bajillion that have put out their way too early 2027 mock drafts. And he's got Arch Manning going number 1 overall to the Arizona Cardinals, which is certainly plausible. I mean, that could happen. Jeremiah Smith, 2 to the Dolphins. Dante Moore to the Jets with the 3rd pick. Godspeed, Dante Moore, if you end up with the Jets. C.J. Carr to the Browns at number 4. Cam Coleman to the Raiders at 5. Trevor Gooseby, the offensive tackle from Texas, to Atlanta at 6. How about that? Jordan Seaton, number 7, to the Tennessee Titans. It kind of confirms what a lot of people have said about Seaton, sort of profiling and projecting as maybe the best offensive lineman in next year's draft. I mean, they haven't projected there as a top 10 pick. Leonard Moore, 8, the cornerback out of Notre Dame, 8 to the Panthers. By the way, I'm not sure if you noticed, but like that's Falcons 6, Panthers 8, projecting the NFC South to be poo-poo. Anyway, Saints 9, taking Dylan Stewart, the edge from South Carolina. Clearly, we know that the 2 spots the Saints didn't address in the draft with elite players we thought they might were corner and edge. So this would certainly do that. And boy, I'd be fired up if the Saints were able to land land Dylan Stewart. But I think the excuse me, the thing that I guess real quick, the other things that are interesting. This would be horrific if this happened. I would be so sad. Trey'Dez Green, number 19 overall, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I hope Trey'Dez Green is the 19th pick. I hope he makes gobs and gobs of money and changes. Probably already has changes. Well, no doubt has changed his family's life just through his NIL opportunities. He's an amazing young guy, and I think the world of him. I would just be sick if he ends up in the NFC South. But the whole point of this exercise, however, is not to point out what Jordan Reed is projecting for Saints or for the mock draft for 2027, the way too early. It's actually to point out why that's so stupid. So Matt Miller, also of ESPN, had his way too early mock. I went and looked up his way too early mock draft for 2026. So a year ago, when Matt Miller did his way too early mock draft for the draft we just had. So this is what they were saying a year ago about the draft we just had. The number 1 overall pick. Anybody want to guess? Don't look, Paula, you're looking. Muse, did you look?
No.
Number 1 overall pick. They had Cleveland because of course.
Right.
They had Cleveland.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Cleveland.
Cleveland's the anus of America. It's the booty.
Number 1 overall. You want to take a guess?
I will go with Cade Klubnik.
Cade Klubnik. Number 1 overall. You looked. Cheater.
I did not look.
Francis Maui Noah, 2.
Okay.
So that's not bad. Where did Maui Noah went top 10?
He did. He went to the Giants at 10, actually.
Pull up the draft that just happened. Please just pull up the first round real quick. TJ Parker they had going 3 to the Titans. TJ Parker did go first round, but it was like late first round.
Here we go.
Or was it Woods? Parker or Woods, one of the Clemson guys that was supposed to be good.
Woods went first round. Parker did not.
Okay, Woods went. It was Woods. So
Woods went 29th.
So they had Parker going 3 overall. Didn't even go first round. Anthony Hill out of Texas, 4 to the Jets. Had Caleb Downs, 5 to the Saints.
He went 11th.
Peter Woods, 6 to the Panthers.
29th.
Ruben Bain, 7 to the Raiders.
And Bain went 15th.
How about this? With the 8th pick to the New England Patriots, Jordan Tyson.
Oh, hey, they got that
Nailed
one right.
the
Just
pick.
the wrong team. Yeah,
Give him a
that's
ding.
good stuff, Matt. Look at Matt Miller over here.
Caden Proctor, 9.
And he went 12.
Spencer Fano, 10.
He went
was
9.
He was 9. Okay,
He went
so
9.
around there.
Yeah.
Number 11 to the Colts.
Nuss.
Garrett Nussmeier.
He did not go number 11.
No, he did not.
No.
He went like 11 from the bottom.
Yeah.
Caleb Lomu, the offensive tackle from Utah, 12. That didn't happen.
No.
Keldrick Falk from Auburn, 13.
Okay. He went first round.
Antonio Williams, 14. That did not happen. Jermod McCoy, 15. That also did not happen.
Oh.
16. Pittsburgh Steelers. They needed a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think Matt Miller had this time last year? He had the Steelers taken at 16. Klubnik off the board. Nuss off the board. Who else could be out there?
Lenore Sellers.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes! Come on!
I mean, I gave it away. Let's be real.
Well, I don't know. Don't
get too fired up with
no,
yourself over
I
there.
feel good about that because Drew Allar's still on the board in that draft.
Aller,
Aller,
come on.
That doesn't, I mean.
Jeremiah Love, 17.
He went a little higher than that.
Tim Keenan, 18.
Oh.
LT Overton, 19.
Oh.
Eli Stowers, 20.
Oh.
Austin Barber, 21. Oh, bro, how about this one? How about this one? With the 22nd pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, in his way too early mock, Matt Miller has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting edge out of LSU, Patrick Payton.
Oh, man.
The internet is undefeated, bro.
That's
It remembers everything.
That's the worst one.
Oh, how about Isaiah World from Oregon, the offensive tackle?
Who?
Avion Terrell, 24. A.J. Harris, 25. C.J. Allen, 26. Stop me when we get to another first rounder. Drew Aller, 27 of the Rams. D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana, 28. Oh. Pons, did he go first round?
He did not.
Pons.
Omar Cooper went first round from Indiana. And Fernando Mendoza.
Where did Pons go? Pons had to be early day 2. I seem to remember. Tyreek Sapp. Nope. Dylan Thieneman went first round. They had Denzel Boston, 31 to the Eagles, and then Jake Slaughter, 32 to the Bills, center from Florida. He also did not go first round. So, yeah.
Who was I looking for? Pons?
Pons. Here's the point. I think I just shut down my computer.
He went 50th, so second round, early day.
Yeah, I knew he was day 2. But I think I shut down my computer.
No?
I was swiping and it's like it shut down. Anyway. Point being, way too early mock drafts can be fun. They're also devastating when a year later we can look back and laugh at how stupid you all are. Way too early mock draft putter-outers. All right, it's after further review. Let's talk to Bernard Gooden next.
AFR.
It's almost Dippledinia time at the Scone household. That's right. In all seriousness, though, I think that is Erica's favorite flower, and we buy a gang of Dippledinas every year to put around our pool. It is a gorgeous tropical flower. They got tons of them, different colors at Clegg's. Erica the best thing about them, well, they're beautiful, but they're tropical, so they're great with our weather. They last all throughout the summer months. So beautiful to add to your flower beds. There's patio pots around the pool, the outdoor space. You want to add sort of that tropical color. You got to go see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, Siega near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Yes, they have all the beautiful flowers and plants and trees and shrubs and all the things that you need to keep the pests away as well. So get on by, tell them Matt sent you in. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. Bernard Gooden set to join us in just a quick second. We're, I think, working on trying to connect with him. It's after further review. We'll get Tigers and the Pros to wrap the hour. And after the top of the hour, I do want to dive in a bit to we are, now that LSU spring football is over, going to continue. I've mentioned this, so forgive me if it's a bit repetitive if you've heard me say it. We're going to spend some time sort of unpacking all of spring. Position groups, risers, newcomers, a lot of different things. And one of the players Lane Kiffin was asked about by name on Tuesday when he met with reporters was Weston Davis. And so I do want to talk about that. So I do want to talk about Weston Davis specifically in after the top of the hour. So all right. Muso's trying to connect with Bernard Gooden. It's okay. Calm down. It's okay. Whew. Let's pivot then. We'll see if we get Bernard, and we'll also talk to Bill Gunter in the next hour as well. He covers South Carolina, get a preview of the weekend series. If you missed it, Jay Johnson met with reporters earlier today and said Casey Evans is expected to throw today, but they're not sure for the weekend yet. That's not a guarantee. Structurally, he's fine, which is the great news, but they're not sure if he's going to be able to throw this weekend, so we'll wait and see on a decision there. Also, they'll make a decision some point tomorrow about his Evans, the game on Friday. Expected inclement weather throughout the Baton Rouge area all day Friday, so they might end up bumping to play a doubleheader on Saturday. Michael Cobble reported that is under consideration. So if that does happen, we'll find out, I'm sure, at some point early Friday, so we'll let you know. All right, it's after further review. We'll see if we can circle back to Bernard. If we connect with him, great. If not, it's okay. Earlier today, Martin Emerson met with reporters via Zoom. And Martin Emerson is the defensive back who, of course, was the third-round draft pick of Cleveland, started for 3 years, suffered an Achilles injury, missed this past season in the NFL. He's a free agent. Saints signed him. As we've talked about, cornerback was a real need for New Orleans going into this draft, cornerback and edge, and they didn't address it high in the draft. Now, they traded a fifth-round pick, as we know, for an edge, and they had a seventh-round pick that they used with for T.J. Hall, who's an edge, or who's a cornerback. But Emerson is Emerson. Are we having him, or you just told me you just put a hand in?
He's calling. Hold on 1 second.
All right. So I guess we'll talk to Bernard Gooden.
I had to send him the number one more time.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. Got him.
When he calls, I'm going to give you a thumbs up when he calls. I just wanted to let you know. I didn't want you to get too deep into the Emerson thing.
It's all right. One cool thing about Emerson, can you play number 3? Emerson said he's actually joining the team that he rooted for as a kid.
Growing up, I actually was a New Orleans Saints fan my whole life, truthfully. So it was a surreal moment, man. It was like a full circle moment in a sense because my grandmother, she was like my mother growing up, and she passed away maybe when I was like 12. But she loved the Saints, New Orleans Saints. She loved Drew Brees. So my family, you know, we all really are New Orleans Saints fans now, truthfully. We always have been, but when I got drafted to Cleveland Browns, you know, that changed a little bit. But everybody's stoked and so excited. You know, I still have family in Pensacola, so 3 hours, you know, that's right up the road, and that's home for me. And New Orleans is the closest NFL professional team that Pensacola has.
It's so interesting because maybe we don't often think of it, but so he's from Pensacola, which is, of course, in the Panhandle, as we well know, which is 3 hours from the city. So when you go, it's interesting because the college allegiances in the Southeast are obviously very diverse, but when you talk about the pro teams, it's almost like people from Louisiana who cheer for the Astros. A lot of people here don't like much about Texas, but it's the closest pro baseball team, so a lot of people here cheer from the Astros because of proximity. Well, the same is true. Like most people in Mississippi and parts of Alabama and the Panhandle of Florida are Saints fans, and the Saints have done a really good job organizationally reaching out to the Gulf region to make the Saints sort of the team of the Gulf region. So it is interesting there that you have a guy that grew up cheering for the Saints who's now is joining the Hoodats. All right, it's after further review. All right, Bernard Gooden, good enough to join us here. Former LSU Tiger, joins the Cleveland Browns as an undrafted free agent. Bernard, what up, man? How are you?
What's up, babe? How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, dude. I told the guys in the break, man, I'm glad to have Bernard back on the show because I freaking love his energy.
Oh, yeah, every time.
I know it, man. Hey, why'd you pick Cleveland?
Low-key, just like the best opportunity, really. You know, like young team. You know, they got some guys in there. They got some legends around the edges, you know. You know, like Malik Collins and all them. I feel like I like a lot of similarities in them. It's just like a good opportunity for a fresh start. It's exciting, you know.
Did you talk to Cleveland a lot in the pre-draft process?
So I actually talked to them like a week before the draft. I had a Zoom call with them with their D-line coach and the assistant coach. And like we was just going over a couple plays and they were just showing me like their scheme and, you know, things that they like to do and like where I could fit in. And I just feel like that was a good fit.
Who else or what other teams were kind of on your radar before the draft?
I talked to the Raiders. I had talked to the Bears. And then I had an informal meeting with the Texans for my pro day.
Did any of those teams call you on draft day?
No, I didn't hear from none of those teams.
Wow. So was Cleveland the one?
Yeah, really.
So was that – it's always interesting, Bernard, because, you know, you go through the draft process. I've done this for so many years, talked to enough guys who've been drafted, whatever. You know, everybody has their own path. But it's like It's so interesting how teams you may have a certain feeling about a team and it ends up being something completely different. If I had asked you before the draft, hey, where do you think you're going to land? What would you have said?
Look, I probably would have said the Raiders.
Why?
I was talking to them a lot, especially when I was out at Fort Worth and in pro day. Because I didn't even hear from the Browns until like week 4, when they were just telling me, you know, like, yeah, you know, been watching you, we like your tape and everything.
So good,
and
man.
Hearing that from them was crazy.
Do you know any of the coaches in Cleveland?
Oh yeah, I know the D-line coach. He came from. I know he's playing for the Chargers. I forgot his name right now off the top of my head, but I was talking to him. We were chopping it up for a good minute.
How long was it from the end of the draft till Cleveland called you and you were like, "Yep, bet, deal"?
So basically, like during the draft, especially on the last day, kind of was already with communication there with them. You know, they was just going back and forth with my agent, just saying things, and then like, you know, I didn't get that call, but then I got a call like right after draft, and they was like, "Yeah, you already know we want you." Even before, like the coach was telling me, you know, we can't control, like, you know, we draft you or not, but like we just want to let you know, like, we want you here.
Yeah. Bernard Gooden's our guest here. You know, one of the interesting things about you too, man, I know you played in the bowl game, and it was like a scary moment, dude, because you had the injury in the bowl game, and it's like, God, it's I could tell I can hear it in your voice there. I'm guessing you played the bowl game to put out good tape, and then that happens. What were you thinking during the bowl game when that happened?
I mean, you know, at the time, it definitely was kind of, you know, upsetting in a way, but I knew it wasn't the end, and it was something temporary. I was just ready to go ahead and get healthy for real, because, you know, everything I had to process. Yeah. I knew it wasn't the end.
How, and obviously it wasn't serious. What was it, like a little sprain or something? It ended up not being serious, right?
Yeah, I just had a high ankle sprain.
And you feel good now? You're 100%?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Love that, man. So you're going to head up to Cleveland, I would guess, for rookie minicamp next week, yeah?
Yes, sir. Thursday to be exact.
What's the plan with the Browns, man? How do they see you fit? And is special teams on the docket as well? What'd they tell you?
Oh, I was talking to the coach. He was saying, you know, I'm going to have an opportunity to play, so I'm just going there with my head down, you know, ready to learn and, you know, show what I can do.
Yeah. Hey, man, if I ask you now in retrospect, as you sort of reflect on your year in Baton Rouge, how would you say it went for you?
I'm going to say I got no complaints, honestly. Like, you know, everybody look at wins and losses, but I feel like the experience in general, just, you know, coming out like an LSU Tiger, like that means a lot, especially, you know, in that time.
Yeah. You were a fan favorite too, man. You know, it's interesting because you were a spring portal guy that came in, as we well know. They've done away with the spring portal. What do you think of that decision, Bernard, for them not to have a spring portal? Because it seems like it worked well for you and for A.J. Halsey as well.
You know, there's a lot of things, you know, you can't control. You know, I feel like for us, you know, at the time, it was the perfect time and everything with the opportunity. And I do want to say, you know, it's some decision that, you know, I want to say it's kind of hard. I want to say in general. So I want to say, you know, I can't really speak too much on it.
Yeah. Did you meet Lane Kiffin yet?
Oh, yeah. He came talk to us after the bowl game.
What do you think about him?
I think he's going to have a good year this year. I like the squad they got over there. I keep in contact on my dude.
What was it like playing against Lane Kiffin's offense?
Fast, for sure.
Was it like the worst? Was it the worst one you had to play against?
It was up there. I won't say where. It definitely was a good time. You know, like if you want to shake, it definitely could get you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're in good shape, man. Ready to go make a team up in Cleveland starting this week with rookie minicamp.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, good health. We wish you a lot of luck and success there in Cleveland, man. We're going to keep in touch. Thanks for picking up the phone as always, man.
You know, man. I appreciate you, Matt.
Of course. We'll talk soon. That's Bernard Gooden. Cleveland Browns defensive lineman Bernard Gooden. I love his energy, man, always. Great energy, great personality, infectious, easy guy to like. He's got the whole undersized but explosive, great motor type guy. Reminds me a lot. Or I should say, Deuce Gerald's reminds me a lot of Bernard Gooden. Similar build, similar style, similar play. Interesting to watch. Appreciate Bernard Gooden. All right, it's after further review. Oh, I want to remind you real quick. Supper Club. Two things I've been telling you about the Japanese Kobe beef. It'll be gone by this weekend, no doubt. If you love rare beef, if you've never tried authentic Japanese Kobe beef, they have it at Supper Club. Chef Layton got 2 slabs of it about a week and a half ago. When I checked in with him at the beginning of this week, he was like, yeah, it's half gone. It'll be gone by the weekend. So I need to check to see if he's got any left. But still, if you're interested, might I recommend here on a Thursday, don't go home for dinner, just go to Supper Club. And if you don't have a reservation, that's okay. Open seating at the bar every day. Well, they're closed Sunday, Monday, except for Mother's Day. They are opening 11 to 3 on Mother's Day. So if you want to treat mom to lunch on Mother's Day and you feel like you've struck out at so many other places trying to get reservations, Supper Club is taking reservations, limited seating, 11 to 3, lunch only on Mother's Day. Take care of mom. Bring her to Supper Club. Get your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Busy Thursday show presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Let me knock out a quick break, come back. We used to do Tigers and the Pros, and we will circle back after the top of the hour to Lane Kiffin's comments about Weston Davis as sort of we recap the offensive line coming out of spring. A lot to do, and glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all, today is the last day. Today is the last day of the Gordon's Grads laptop giveaway. Today's the last day to enter, last day of the month. Tomorrow's May 1st. So here's your last chance to enter. Go to gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com. If you are a procrastinator, that's okay. A lot of us are procrastinators in school too. If you're a procrastinator and you've not yet filled out your application, or there's your son, daughter, niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter, neighbor, friend, coworker's child, whoever it may be, we're talking to graduating Louisiana high school seniors. If you're a graduating Louisiana high school senior going to a 2 or 4 year college or a trade school, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys help giving you that jump start by giving away 15 laptops and MacBooks to graduating Louisiana high school seniors. If you want to enter to win one, go to gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
We are wrapping up hour number 2. Always appreciate Blasia and the great team at Decision Critical. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. They're expertly trained nurses, every one of them handpicked by Blasia, and they'll come in your home, go along with you to doctor's visits, come administer IVs. They can actually administer your injections. Maybe if you take GLP-1s or other peptides or on hormone therapy and you don't like giving yourself the injection, they can do it for you. Come in the clinic. So many ways that they're there for you to administer their nursing care. So, nursing services. It's decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, Muso, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, let's start with the NBA playoffs. Houston Rockets forced game 6 against Los Angeles Lakers. Tari Eason, a big reason why. Second consecutive start in the series. 18 points a night ago. That follows up 20 points in game number 4. So back-to-back really productive performances there for former Tiger. He added 5 rebounds and an assist to round out his night. Minor League Baseball doubleheader today for the Red Wings of the Washington Nationals organization, which means we find Dylan Cruz. Started in left field one game, started in right field the other game, had 2 hits across both, also drew some walks, but one of the hits, his 3rd home run of the season for Cruz, was a first inning shot with 2 outs in game number 2 of the doubleheader for Cruz, to left field. Just snuck over the wall, but home run number 3 regardless. Paul Skeens Day in Major League Baseball, getaway day for the Pirates, and it was a rough one for Paul. 5 innings, surrendered 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 9, but was unfortunately tagged with his 2nd loss of the season. Record now 4-2. Kevin Gausman will be on the bump tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's 2-1 with a 2.5 ERA. Just 6 walks, 38 punch-outs in 35 innings. Alex Bregman, 1 for 3, couple of walks for the Cubbies. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Thinking of buying a new vehicle? Hey, graduation time's here. I mean, let's be real. Graduation time's here. Got that high school or college grad. You want to thrill them with a gift of a lifetime, a new vehicle? Awesome. That's complicated as well because that can be expensive and scary. They want something that's fun to drive and stylish. You want something that's safe and affordable. Okay. South Point Volkswagen. Sold. 9 different IIHS top safety picks for the safest vehicles on the road. Affordable. And manufactured right here in the US of A at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. Did I mention they're also super stylish and fun to drive? It's a style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. Sit behind the wheel of a Volkswagen and you'll get it. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? We were talking earlier today about the NCAA tournament expanding, and everyone's like, it's terrible, they're expanding this. I'm like, no, it's not. It's easy to see what they're doing. They're trying to make more money by adding more teams. And so Corey said it's actually 8 more games with 8 more teams because there'll be 12 play-in games instead of 4. Thank you for proving my point. They added 8 more. They added 8 more pieces of TV inventory. Why did they expand? That's why they expanded, to make money. And then you're going to go, well, it's all about the almighty dollar. Okay, I got a great idea then. Let's cut all of the non-revenue sports. Let's keep cutting non-revenue sports so we can afford to not have to expand the tournament. Get out of here.
AFR.
Love telling you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. Shutters and shades as well. A lot of people got your tax refund. Maybe you're thinking about planning a vacation. Maybe you're thinking about going buying something fun. I don't know. I got a better idea. Invest that money in your home. Your home is the largest single, for most of us, it's the largest single investment that we'll ever make. So do something that will invest in your home. Energy-efficient replacement windows will lower your energy bills. Remember, they measure twice, install once. So because they're custom-made, it'll reduce those costly air leaks. Because they're energy-efficient, it's going to keep the hot air out, your cool air from your HVAC in, lowering your energy bills. It'll pay for itself in time, and it'll increase your home's resale value. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades, ReliefWindows.com.